All right, we are back to our third topic on HOA SOS, talking about the state of affairs with COVID-19. You know, Lee, when we were on that call the other day with some management company owners and high-level directors, one of the other topics that they had a lot of questions about that we wanted to share the feedback that everybody gave each other, because we were trying to facilitate conversation on it, was what do we do right now in these unique times with covenant enforcement, maintenance issues. You had some great input that day, and as well, we got great input from the people that were on that call who are natural problem solvers and were willing to share their thoughts. What can you lend on those topics?
Yeah, there's major concerns here as to how an association deals with common element or common area, its recreational facilities, and the like when an association is dealing with so many people living and staying in the community at one particular time. Ultimately, again, compassion and reasonableness must control. But the association still has to comply with its obligations under the governing documents. It does need to enforce. It's just a matter of what is necessary to enforce right now and what isn't.
Well, let's start there. Let's say I'm Harry homeowner and I just love my condominium community's exercise room. You know, I get tremendous value, fill my dues, go to that. Dues are a little higher, but I chose to live in this community because I don't have to go to a gym. They've got this amazing, workout facility. It's got an elliptical, it's got free weights. Can I use it right now, given all the restrictions that are being issued around the country on a daily basis? What should happen there?
Yeah, and right now we have the governor has issued a closure of all commercial gyms and the like. And owners feel that the only place they can get their exercise in is at the association's gym.
Yeah.
And that's considered a residential facility, right? So association board of directors need to make a determination on the safety of that type of recreational facility and the use of it in light of social distancing. The boards need to or should implement certain rules if they are going to keep it open, but a lot's going to depend on whether the association can actually use its resources to clean and disinfect the facilities through its employees or through its contractors, or get compliance from those using it to disinfect the facility.
Is this going to do the trick?
That may not do the trick.
Sanitizer.
So, even though we do use it, still the hand washing every day, or hand washing at least 20 seconds a day is what's recommended.
Well,
but trying to do that for this equipment is difficult.
Really difficult. And I made the joke earlier that you and I just social distance from one another, even in, save times, which was a joke, not true. I love being around Lee, but we were one of the first ones to do it. But we've had these discussions about what is too restrictive, what is too crazy in these times. But again, I'm the guy that wants to use that gym, but what if the board takes the point of view that in overseeing that common area amenity that they're creating a risk of harm for the community at large? What do you say to that board?
Yeah, and the board has to look at the potential liability to the association first and foremost.
Right.
In balancing any compassion that they are making with regard to their decisions.
What would you say, based on the call we had with folks that were wrestling with those exact issues? Which way should you lean as a board of directors regarding your common area usage?
I think you lean to the safety of everybody as opposed to the well-being of one.
Okay.
And so here, owners have to understand if they're going to be around each other, locked in their homes, or out in the common area, even though they're a distance from each other, they need to be respectful of their neighbors, and they have obligations with regard to compliance of the governing documents as well. And it's probably more important that owners comply with the use obligations or use restrictions and rules and regulations in such a tight quarters right now. You can't let somebody walk their dog in a community and not pick up after their dog just because we're dealing with a crisis. Now, in a community, everything is multiplied. And so enforcement of those type of issues is important. Smoking in the common area may be something that is now a nuisance, which may not have been before, simply because of where everybody is at this moment. So remember that, look at the covenants, look at what the rules and regulations are, figure out, make a determination what should be enforced right now, what is reasonable in the short term to let go and not enforce.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with your attorneys, make a determination on what's reasonable as far as bringing certain things to a court's attention if necessary or not. Right now, dealing with courts, our civil cases are being pushed and moved, and
they're on hold.
But you still have timetables,
Absolutely.
Statutes of limitations that you have to file within a certain time frame, or you may have an emergency situation where an owner's not doing something they're required to do that you need to get in order to get stopped.
Right. So, I guess our thoughts that we would share with the industry at large is try to stay very consistent with what you're hearing from the top down. I mean, the United States Surgeon General came out and said some Americans aren't doing enough. Err on the side of caution. Maybe you got to shut down the exercise facility because people just really got to stay within these boundaries. One thing to close out in talking to the people that have tuned in to hear us talk about COVID-19, what we got out of our conversations in dealing with some of the top level management companies in the Front Range were these three things. We were really blown away by the resilience of folks that are out there running and managing communities. Stay resilient. We also saw their compassion, and we saw their level-headedness. Common sense will prevail in these very difficult times that pose a lot of quandaries for boards.
We also heard some amazing stories.
We did.
And amazing ideas from these individuals as to how to help, how to make things smoother, how to deal with this trying time.
So let's stay connected and talk and figure out how to help each other.
Yeah, please share with everybody and help each other.
All right, thanks for dialing in.
We appreciate you guys joining us for HOA SOS. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact either of us at L. Freedman or W. Wollenweber at pwflegal.com or through our phone number 720-400-7123.
Absolutely. We like helping communities navigate through rough times.